Tuesday afternoon, April 25th, a symposium of Ragas music was performed at Bridgewater State College by Dr. Krishna Raghavendra. A biophysicist who is also a masterful composer, Dr. Raghavendra discussed the fusion of Indian and Western musical styles.
What I'm going to show is cross-cultural music, which is like a fusion music of Indian music and jazz, and Indian music and pop music. Basically, I have two professions. I have a PhD in biophysics, and I was doing research in biophysics and teaching at the University of Connecticut for 12 years. But I've been playing veena for the last 40 years. That's the name of the instrument that I play. It's one of the oldest instruments of South India. It dates back to 4,000 years. But in the present form, it's 300 years old. Now, it's basically a plucked stringed instrument, an acoustic instrument. It's similar to, you can say, an acoustic guitar. It's also similar to another instrument which is very popular in this country, an Indian instrument called sitar. Similar, but not identical. Sitar actually came to us from Middle East. But veena is more of Indian origin. My audience in this country, I want to cater to the Western audience, basically. I don't have anything against our own community. Our community knows this music, but I want to popularize this among Western community. And so far, this is my third presentation at Bridgewater State College. The first one I played with the jazz band way back in '92. The second one I gave a lecture in one of the classes in African music. So it's quite very well received. It is just that it hasn't reached a lot of people, which I plan to do.
We'll pause for a break, and when we come back, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at the new Dare billboard located in the center of town.
No, just what it's based on in terms of, is it strictly Indian music, or is it Indian American?
Sure.
And also,
Yeah. So I just start from saying who I am,
right.
and then that's
If
the
you
way.
want to just give us a brief introduction.
Yeah.
I believe Eric has the correct spelling.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, basically we want to know what kind of music it is that you're doing, what it's based on, where it came from. He said something about you, one of the creators of it.
Yeah, I have composed music. My music is there. Exactly. I'm a composer, if that's what you want to say. Okay.
What kind of music do you compose mostly? Is it all Indian or?
It's a cross-cultural. It's based on Indian music, but it is cross-cultural.
Now the type of music that we're going to sing today, Is it more of a traditional type of music, or is it a newer music that's coming out?
Both, traditional as well as contemporary, both. I'm going to play. What I'm going to show is cross-cultural music, which is like a fusion music of Indian music and jazz,
Okay.
and Indian music and pop music.
Okay. Now,
And-
you said earlier that it's also ethno-pop?
Yeah, that's one of the actually two of the compositions that I'm going to present today, ethno-pop, based on Indian music and played with pop music.
Now, everything that we're going to hear today, you composed it yourself, or is it original music?
No, not all of them are composed by me. Some of them are traditional compositions that I'm going to play.
How did you get into this? Were you raised-
Basically, I have two professions. I have a PhD in biophysics, and I was doing research in biophysics and teaching at the University of Connecticut for 12 years. But I've been playing Veena for the last 40 years. That's the name of the instrument that I play.
What is it?
Veena, V-E-E-N-A, that's how I spell it. That I've been playing for 40 years. Now since 4 years, I'm a full-time musician. I'm supported by my wife to do what I want to do in my life.
How did you convince her to do that?
No, it's actually she persuaded me to do that, to get it to music full-time.
Now, the instrument that you're going to be playing, is it similar to any other instruments? Is it based on other instruments?
It's one of the oldest instruments of South India. It dates back to 4,000 years. But in the present form, it's 300 years old. Now, it's basically a plucked stringed instrument, an acoustic instrument. It's similar to, you can say, an acoustic guitar. It's also similar to another instrument which is very popular in this country, an Indian instrument called sitar. Similar, but not identical. Sitar actually came to us from Middle East, but Veena is more of Indian origin.
It's a stringed instrument? you said?
It's a plucked stringed instrument.
I noticed you also have a keyboard up there.
Yeah.
Is that more for the...
What I'm going to use keyboard. I know it cannot replace my bands in India and Germany, but at least it can provide me the background percussion and chords when I play my melodies. That's what I use.
The type of music that you're going to be playing, is it more of a... would it be something more used in a religious ceremony, the music is based from, or would it be just more of an enjoyment type piece?
I would say both. In fact, I'm going to play one composition which I'm going to start based on Vedic chants of India, and then I will slowly go from there to dance music. The dance music is what I have composed, but it's in the same scale. So if people want to dance, which they normally do when we perform in Germany, people can dance even here.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is it's very flexible.
When you're performing in Germany, is this the type of music that you perform? or-
Exactly. It's more of a dance music. I mean, the pop is basically dance music. That's what we perform.
Now, how popular is it in Germany? Or has it been?
If I want to tell you, I have to go back to my band in India, in Bangalore. It's south of India. They have been invited to perform in Europe and all other parts of the world for the last 15 years. They go at least 4 times a year. They have released a lot of albums and CDs, and they have participated in very big music festivals. They keep going, and it's getting more and more popular. So that's the answer that I can provide you.
Okay. Now, right now, you have 2 released pieces of music that are solely your own and 2 with the band?
I have actually released 2 cassettes. The first one is basically, it gives you a bird's eye view of the Indian music, with percussion, with voice, with my Veena. The second one is a fusion of Indian music and jazz. And the third one is what I perform with my band in Germany, the ethno-pop. The fourth one is what we just released in Europe. That is, once again, it's basically a variety of Indian music. So these are the 4 releases I have so far.
Do you think that it's going to become popular in the Western culture, or...
My audience in this country I want to cater to the Western audience basically. I don't have anything against our own community. Our community knows this music, but I want to popularize this among Western community. And so far, this is my third presentation at Bridgewater State College. The first one I played with the jazz band way back in '92. The second one I gave one lecture in one of the classes in African music. So it's quite very well received. It is just that it hasn't reached a lot of people, which I plan to do, like what I've started doing.
Why'd you pick Bridgewater State College? Do you do this as a tour, or is it just strictly Bridgewater State?
I live in Bridgewater. My wife is a professor of mathematics and computer science here at the college. So this is just the beginning here. Probably I'll be giving another workshop end of this year at Berkeley College. And then I'll start going all around. I'm trying to set up a band here too this
Have you
year.
had much success, or?
Yeah, people are interested. It's just that we haven't gotten together yet because I was busy all year long last year. I wasn't home at all. 6 months I was away.
Is this the type of instrument you could see teaching classes for in the music department here, or?
Sure. I have actually modified this instrument to look like a bass. It's easily portable, and then you can easily teach in any other class. I'm going to say a few things about that during my presentation today, how I can teach the same scale, which is common to Western and Indian, but how it's played differently.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michelle.
Dr. Raghavendra and his Veena.
Hello? Yeah, that's fine. Hello? It's my privilege to be presenting this honor symposium on rhythms and raga this afternoon. I would like to thank at the very outset the honors program, the alumni, the college, Dr. Nickerson, and my friends who made it possible who are here today. So what I'm going to do today is basically present Indian music, but not everything, and also play what I call cross-cultural music, fusion music of Indian and Western jazz, fusion music of Indian and pop, what is it called, ethno-pop. I play with two bands, one back in India and one in Germany. Both of them couldn't be present here today. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some of the video clips of the music either recorded back home in India or in Germany. And I'm also going, as you already heard, I use a keyboard for the background percussion and chords for my music. I'm asked to present for 45 minutes, and another 45 minutes it should be open for discussion. What I would very much like to do, I would take it as a compliment if any one of you wants to join me on the podium, either to play my keyboard or to sing, because I want to see that you are involved in what I do today. That's very important for me. That's what we do in Germany. We play ethno-pop music and people are free to dance, and you can do that too. I see some space at the back. So briefly, for the next 5-10 minutes, I will summarize what Indian music is. Indian music, as we know, dates back to the days of Vedic chants, dates back to the folk music of all the tribal groups. The present day classical, Indian classical music, which is this most sophisticated form of Indian music, it has been evolved from these two forms, the Vedic chants and the folk music. We have two main forms of classical music in India. One is called Carnatic music, which is prevalent in South India, and the other form, Hindustani music, which is prevalent in the other, mostly northern part and other parts of the India. Now, other forms, as I have listed, are, as I said, folk music, devotional music, which is based on classical music. It could be played for any festivals at home. It could be played even in, performed in temple. We have temple music, which is more than like chants. They also have melodies. We have, of course, we have film music, which is some of them based on classical music, but some of them have influence from Western music. The orchestra, the melodies are. For different seasons, we have music too. Like we have for spring, for summer. For many harvests, we have music. And our music is also work-related. People do sing, do play beat when they work. Either when they work, like fishermen, they have their music. People who do construction, they have their music. By the way, the composition that I just played is called Fisherman, and this is my own composition. We have also music to make babies to go to bed, we sing lullabies. And finally, not the last, and in the last, not but the least, is the contemporary music. That is the music that I'm most interested in. I am trained in Indian classical music, Carnatic music, but I am interested in contemporary music because I live in this country and I want to see that I promote this kind of music among the American audience. Basically, after giving this brief introduction to Indian music, different forms of Indian music, I'd like to say a few words about ragas. Ragas are nothing but the scales that are used in any form of music. And I would like to restrict myself to the scales that we use in South Indian music. We have 72 what you call fundamental ragas. I don't want to use the word major scales because some of our major scales are the minor scales in Western music. I will demonstrate that to you very soon. And there are many derived ragas from the fundamental ragas. I may use words like scale and raga. These are all interchanged. I use it. And I've also given you the diatonic scale and the representation that is used in our music. And I have the corresponding notes in the Western notation I have given. Sa, Re, we have two Re's corresponding to the D flat and the D. We have Ga, the E flat and E. We have Ma, we have F and F sharp. We have G, we have Da, which is A flat A. And we have Ni, B flat and B. I play my instrument called Veena at the key F. You can play this instrument at any key. You can play it at D, you can play it at G. But I'll come to my instrument a little bit later. But this is basically the scheme of the ragas, or the scales that we have. And next I would like to say a few words about rhythm. I don't want to make this as a class today. I want to talk as little as possible, and I want to play music, and I want to show some of the video clips to you. But I do wanted to spend a few minutes before. The rhythm or the tala, what we call as tala, is nothing but rhythm. We have basically 7 kinds of beats: 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have all other kinds of talas or rhythms derived from these. And I have given all the names. The names that in Sanskrit correspond to 3 for Trishra, 4 for Chatushra, 5 for Khanda, 6 for Rupaka, 7 for Mishra, 8 for Adi, 9 for Sankirna. Now the pattern also I have listed in the last column. The beat of 5 is split into 2 and 3. So if I want to demonstrate it, we normally, what we do when we keep the beat, we keep the beat with hands. For example, the beat of 5, if I want to show 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So our stress is on the first one. A very common beat is a beat of 8. The beat of 8 is this way: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. The stress is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 6, 7, 8. So after this brief introduction about the rhythm and the tala, I think I'll speak few words about my instrument. The name of the instrument is Veena, V-E-E-N-A, that's how it is pronounced. It is one of the oldest instruments of South India. It dates back to 3,000 to 4,000 years. In the present form, it has been in existence for last 300 years. It is a plucked stringed instrument, an acoustic. Basically, it consists of a resonator, a fretboard, tuning pegs, and another resting bowl. This has no part to play in the sound of the instrument. I have 4 melodic strings. These are unlike in an acoustic guitar where you have 6. These are tuned in as C, F, higher C, higher F. I use the 2 fingers of my right hand to pluck the string alternately. Then I use 2 fingers of my left hand on the fret to produce melody, the complex melody. I just use stress, deflection, and pull. I will demonstrate that a little bit later. I also have 3 strings to my side, probably you cannot see. These are also tuned F, C, higher F. These are used as drone strings, or these are also used to keep the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2. A beat of 8 is. Drone is an essential part of our instrument. We have to have the drone going on constantly at the back, so that when we sing or we play, we want to make sure that we are not singing or playing out of tune. You might have heard the name of a drone instrument called tambura. And these days, the modern days, we have what we call as the electronic tambura. It's a small box, but I haven't used it today. Keyboard itself provides the drone for me today. So that's about, I think, what I wanted to say about our music briefly, and then my instrument. Now let's spend some time in music. So let me play Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, which is probably very common to you. I will play 2 or 4 lines of one of our compositions without any embellishments, and please tell me how it sounds, whether it sounds familiar to you. This is one of our traditional compositions, but we don't play it like that. We play it like this now. The same thing what I played before, I played it, but this is the way we play. We play with all the deflection, with all the melody, what we call as gamaka, for example, all the complex melody. I produce it just by deflection, by stress. I just want to give as an example this scale because I thought this is very familiar to you. Next, what I wanted to do is, this is one of our major scales too. The name of this scale is called Shankara Abharana, means it is an ornament of Lord Shankara. That's the literal translation of the name of that scale. I will play now a pentatonic scale derived from this major scale. It goes this way. What I will do, do a brief improvisation of the scale, and then I'll play 4 lines of our traditional composition. Then I'm going to play along with one of the audio cassettes. As I said before, I don't have my band from Bangalore here. We just have released a cassette on fusion music of Indian and jazz. I'm going to play one composition from that cassette, and then I will play along with it. The name of our band in India is called Karnataka College of Percussion. And we have already released 2 cassettes and 1 CD.
composition in two speeds, you must have noticed. So let me play the fusion composition. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that's basically based on this scale that I played.